Hi guys, we're here in my own backyard today to talk about trees. We're going to talk about two main types of trees, coniferous trees and deciduous trees. Now deciduous trees are like this tree that you see behind me. That tree lost its leaves in the autumn or the fall. You can see way up there is a nest, a bird's nest, built their nest in this tree. In the fall months, this tree lost all of its leaves, and you can see they're all over the ground. We have lots of leaves on the ground here. Deciduous trees have lots of different leaf shapes. They can be round, oval, almost heart-shaped. They can be spiky, all different sorts. We're going to take a look at a couple of different types of trees and their leaves in a few minutes. This tree behind me that I'm showing you is called a cherry tree. And in the spring, it will grow flowers and lots of leaves, and it becomes beautiful. And then they turn green. The leaves turn green and it loses its flowers, and they all drop to the ground. And then it has beautiful green leaves. These trees are really great for providing shade for everyone when you're outside on if it's a hot day and you need some shade. Trees that have leaves like this tree are great at providing shade. The other type of tree that we're going to talk about, we're going to walk over here in my yard, is this tree here. Now ours is a little sparse, but this is a pine tree. And you can see, let me get really close here for you. You can see this tree has needles on it. It's not leaves like on a normal tree branch. These are needles. And you can see that even though there's some snow on this tree, so you know it's cold outside, this has not lost its needles. They are still on it. In the winter, these trees do not lose their needles. In a little bit, we're going to visit a tree farm and see all kinds of different pine trees that you can take a look at. Deciduous trees, or commonly called hardwood trees, are trees that lose all of their leaves for part of the year. This process is called abscission. In some cases, leaf loss coincides with winter for temperature or polar climates, but in other parts of the world, including tropical and subtropical regions, plants lose their leaves during the dry season. Deciduous trees and plants lose their leaves to conserve water or to better survive winter weather conditions. So then in the spring, they must regrow new foliage during the growing season. There are many deciduous trees that are local to Pennsylvania or native. Those include oak, birch, maple. These are just to name a few. You can see by this list there are so many trees that are local here to us in Pennsylvania. The first tree we're going to look at is the maple tree. There are many varieties of maple tree. You can see how large and grand it can be. It can range in colors from green to red. There's also a specific kind that's smaller, like this red one that's called a Japanese maple. You can see from this picture with the leaves that there are many varieties of maple leaves, but they all have similarities. Another common deciduous tree in Pennsylvania is the birch tree, specifically the paper birch. It gets its name, as you can see from the bark, by the peeling bark. It peels off just like paper and it kind of curls up and rolls. This last picture is a white paper birch that's in my very own yard. The other main type of tree we're going to focus on are conifers. Most conifers are evergreens. The leaves of conifers are long and thin and they have a needle-like appearance, like the ones we saw in my yard. They don't have typical leaves like the ones we see laying on the ground in the fall. Conifers do not shed their needles in the fall either. And while many coniferous trees may look very similar to you can see by this photo that they all have different branches and needles that make them each unique. I'm here at Espenshades Greenhouse and Garden Center where they sell plants. They also call places like this nurseries because they grow and sell plants. This is a small evergreen tree that Espenshades does have right now. This is a blue Colorado spruce, and you can see it's very small in size. They'll continue to leave this one out here in the winter because it can survive in the winter months here. You'll notice there aren't a lot of other options here for the winter months. Because of the cold season, they don't do a lot of growing outside during this time at this tree nursery. You guys can see behind me that there's not a lot of trees or plants here at Espenshades right now. And that's because it's cold in winter. They move a lot of their plants inside to the greenhouse, which is behind me. You can see that. This area here, it's the greenhouse. They keep their plants warm in the winter so they can grow. If you see out here behind me, Those are the outdoor greenhouses. That's where they'll start planting for next year so that we can have trees and bushes and flowers for our spring plants. We're going to take a look over here at a tree that's growing here on the property. And they informed me that it's been growing here for quite some time. And wait till you see this tree. It looks so neat. It's growing up into their patio area. Isn't that neat? And you can see that this tree did lose its leaves in the winter, just like the trees we talked about. This is an example of a hollyberry tree. Hollyberry trees can be bushes or trees. The people here at Aspen Shades informed me that these can continue to grow all through the winter, just like an evergreen tree. We all learned something new today. This is a dwarf Alberta spruce tree. You can see it's small in size right now, but they will grow as time goes on. Aspen Shades has a few varieties of trees in their greenhouses that they will sell all winter long. These are just a few of them. The small ones are ornamental plant trees that can also be herb trees, and you can keep inside your home all year. As you can see, once spring comes, Aspen Shade will be full of beautiful flowers and outdoor trees for you to purchase. All right, everybody, I hope you enjoyed our field trip to the nursery and learning about all those trees and the different things they sell there. I certainly had a good time. I can't wait to see you on our next video. Have a great day.